realize why that is the case.
My dog is losing hope, bro. And then on top of that, he got his homeboys crashing out, and everything that everybody else is doing is just making him look some type of way.
Don't go reaching for no chain. My little homie clutching a ride, ready to blow your.
Clock in, clock in. Black Gotti just walked in.
Yeah. He already dead, it ain't no need to check his fighters, bitch. He already dead, it ain't no need to check his fighters. Yeah, crunch time, yeah, nigga, it's lunch time. Let go, crunch time, yeah, nigga, it's lunch time. Yeah, crunch time, yeah, nigga, it's lunch time. Let go, crunch time, yeah, nigga, it's lunch time. He dead.
Team Black gotta stand up, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, that little yell wasn't even hitting on nothing, but we about to get into this video with another follow-up of Young Thug, man. His lawyer revealing what he's going through behind bars, bro. I know y'all seen the video I just posted about Wallow basically telling Young Thug about everything that Young Thug is getting to see for himself at this moment, bro. A lot of people feel like age, you know, is equivalent to knowledge. And a lot of people also feel like money is equivalent to knowledge. When in our reality, no, it be some old, dumb niggas. And yes, it be some people with money that is completely dumb. A lot of reasons they be in those positions because when you get it so fast and you ain't have to climb no mountain to get it, bro, it puts you in a mind state as to where you really don't understand how much of a blessed position you're in. You feel what I'm saying? Because you haven't got to experience the worst. You feel me? And that's what a lot of artists end up going through due to the fact they come straight from the trenches and a bitch just throw a whole M at them. And now they just feel like, oh, it's motion. It's heavy rotisserie chicken, when in all reality, there's a lot of things they don't think will come back to bite them in the ass until it comes back and take a bite, a chunk off your booty cheek. You feel what I'm saying? Then you got to sit back and real deal go through it. And, man, it was just wild how Wallow was just explaining a lot of game to Thug and for him to be basically going through tough times right now, lonely times where everybody folding on him. Bad, you feel me? And the people folding on him is people that he put in a good position, bro. Like people he done saved and blessed. And that shit make me feel like Youngboy was not lying when he said he is scared of people, not scared to the point where, oh, they gonna beat me up. Nah, he just scared of people's intentions because you don't really know nobody's intentions. And you could mean the best to other people, but they mean the complete worst to you, fam. And we see this 24/7. Everybody care about themselves, and it be the ones that be the ones who be blessing everybody who just different. That's why they always be getting blessed. It's because, like, you just different. You feel what I'm saying? Your energy is always going to overpower that negative energy. Hopefully, Young Thug realizes that. But it's just a lot of situations he done put himself into just for people.
What's good, Rizzle fam? A lot of videos online tell us about Young Thug's fate, but not many share the truth about his life in jail. Now, we've got Thugger's lawyer finally open up about all the details about Thugger's life that nobody knew before. Young Thug's been in jail for a bit over half a year, and if we know anything about famous people who get locked up and end up being forced into changing their habits, well, it doesn't usually end well. Thugger and his gang from YSL who got slammed with the RICO indictment are not that different. Signs of Young Thug cracking have been there from the very beginning, and it looks to us as if he's really about to lose it. How did we get to this point, and exactly does Young Thug have to go through? Well, here's how it goes. As you may or may not know, Atlanta's very own Young Thug ended up behind bars last year. Thugger, Gunna, and a bunch of other people affiliated with YSL movement were all locked up. Why? Well, according to the story that the prosecutors presented in front of the court, some 20+ members of YSL are not all doing legitimate business. In fact, they're into some very shady stuff. YSL has been deemed not only a record label, but a criminal gang and a suspicious entity that needs to be investigated. Seems like they have a lot to answer for, and nobody knew that the boys in Atlanta aren't just making music, but a whole lot more. The news kicked in during the summer of 2020, and the YSL RICO case has been ongoing to this very day. As a matter of fact, it's going to continue for at least another year because there are so many members waiting trial, it's just impossible to predict when exactly all of them are going to find out their fate. RICO cases like this one can take up to a couple years to be completely over with, and that's no surprise to anyone who's into legal stuff. However, the YSL Boys and Young Thug, they were not expecting things to drag out so much. For the last 7 months, and especially during the month of January, Young Thug's been going in and out of the courtroom, and we don't even know if he's guilty or not. That means that these court visits that Thugger's doing right now are going to take their precious time. Now, that is no good news if you're a Young Thug fan. If you take a look at some of the footage from within the courtroom, you'll quickly realize why that is the case.
My dog is losing hope, bro. And then on top of that, he got his homeboys crashing out, and everything that everybody else is doing is just making him look some type of way. Folk tried to give him a pill in there. Man, folks out there stabbing the COs. Man, they doing all type of extracurricular activity that's making this man look some type of way. It's just so crazy how he's basically being judged off of everybody else's actions other than his own. Everything is going to make it hard for this jury people to want to say he's innocent. Because it looks like they not even saying nothing he's doing. They just saying everything everyone else is doing. You know, somebody gave him a pill in court. You know, one of his homeboys just did this. Oh, they must be bad. He got to be bad too. Like, the finger is pointed at him, even by Gunna. Then Gunna got the audacity to say, I ain't say nothing. Boy, I'd rather you said something than agreed to everything that was told to you.
Young Thug is tired. He's had a lot on his plate, and you start to question whether or not he'll even be able to make it to the very end of all the procedures. As the things stand right now, he's got to wake up around 5 in the morning every day in order to commute to the courthouse. The hearings last usually from 9 until 5 in the afternoon. Just take a look at how Young Thug is dealing with these long days in court in this video.
That's crazy, bro.
This video goes on for at least another minute. Looks pretty bad for Thugger. The fans feel sorry for him, but he's the only person responsible for the crime that he did. One fan wrote, "Crime doesn't pay. Hopefully he learns from this." Very sad seeing someone so defeated, but
Hold up. I don't know what crime that he actually did, though. I probably got to look into it a little bit more, but I don't know a crime that he actually did. It's basically a group thing that they got going on.
you have to pay for your sins. A fan online thinks he's not broken just yet. Rather, he's just very exhausted from the long-lasting process that the courtroom brings. He said, "If you've ever been through this process, he's probably not defeated, but just tired. You get woke up made early, have to sit for mad long in cold at holding cells, and if the courtroom and jail aren't connected, it even worse dealing with transportation." Now, if you remember from our recent video, Young Thug was involved in some sort of a drug trade-off inside the courtroom 2 weeks ago that included contraband being smuggled inside. If you recall correctly, some perkies were being brought in by Thugger's co-defendant, who went on to hand him the pills right in front of the deputy, who was the assigned security officer. The deputy immediately took the pills away and referred to the judge, who postponed the jury selection process because of this incident. If you connect 2 and 2, you start to realize that the likely reason why Thug was handed these pills in the first place wasn't because Thugger was in desperate need of a hit. Rather, perhaps he was simply trying to cope with everything that has been going his way these last few days. But that's not all the trouble that Thugger has to live with currently. See, those same officers that you see in this short video have apparently been mistreating some of the inmates during their transportation to the courtroom. There was an inmate by the name of Redalius Ryan, who was apparently violently taken out of a police vehicle as the officers were attempting to bring him to Fulton County Courthouse. The DA representing Mr. Ryan filed a complaint against her because he was bruised up on several spots after one of the commutes took place. As happens quite often, these officers quite often abuse their position of power, and they get away with causing inmates physical and mental pain and suffering. You have to fear the worst in the scenario Young Thug. There were rumors coming in last year about him living in the harshest of conditions, and it seems like the system is really treating Young Thug and all the others harshly. Thugger's lawyer Brian Steele had already came out more than once, saying that they're throwing extra shade on Thugger's name on whatever chance they have. It is quite apparent that the prosecutors want him behind bars for good, and that they're willing to go as far as they need to in order to make anything and everything stick to Thugger's name in front of the court of law. Last year, Brian told the press that Thugger had been going forced to live through some of the most gruesome conditions that you can imagine. Some of the things he mentioned are solitary confinement / total isolation, a windowless cement compartment with only a bed and toilet, and an overhead light which remains on 24 hours per day. The same overhead light is preventing him from catching any sleep or rest, and he's had no access to any type of media. That means no TV, no internet, And lastly, he got no dedicated time for exercise, hygiene, or any human contact aside from his attorneys. Top all that off with constant trips to the courtroom where you have to sit in one place and pretend to be a corpse for 8 hours every single day, and you pretty much understand just in what kind of a sunken place Young Thug must be at this point. All of this is a very troubling experience for Young Thug, and this one comment online made us think about what it means to be taken out of your comfort zone and have your life stripped of any meaning. That's the sign of reality when it hits you. Now you really start to wonder if Young Thug is ever going to be the same person who he was before he got locked up. His trial is far away from being finished, and nobody knows what his fate is going to be looking like. All arrows point to the possibility that he's going to be found guilty, and if it turns out to be true, who knows how many years he's going to get behind bars. His fans and loved ones can only hope to see Young Thug survive all the pain and obstacles that he's going through right now, and the ones that are yet to come his way. But what y'all think about Young Thug's life behind bars? Do you think he's ever going to do music, or is his career something that
I honestly believe his career is far from over. I feel like it just began. Dude who made that comment has a point. The longness of what you have to go through just to go through these court dates, and you got them back to back, you're finding out people telling. It's not on the vibe that you just have no hope. It's the vibe that you're tired. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of going back and forth. Boy, you need some milk, man. I'm rooting for Thug, man. Free Thug in the comments, bro. I haven't seen him be accused of, doing anything to innocent people. It's basically gang wars that they got in trouble for. But y'all, let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, bro. Thugger, get through this, my brother. You feel what I'm saying? Clock out, Black got it. Just walked out. Screw me.
Bring my bread right now. Bring my money, nigga. Bring my bread right now.